What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Horseshoe. My name is Matt, and with the NFL draft past us, I wanted to talk about a few positions I would still like to see the Colts address just a little bit before heading to training camp. But before I do that, if you're new or if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate if you would click that subscribe button. Also, click the bell icon. That way, you're notified when I upload a video or when I go live. If you like this video, smack the like button. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Are there a few more positions you would like to see the Colts address that I did not mention? Or do you think we're perfectly fine? We don't need to address any positions at all. Let me know in the comments. And also, if you have a Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter at horseshoe_pod. There's a link in the description down below. So, I think we can all agree that the Colts did a really good job addressing needs in this draft. They addressed the receiver position, the tight end position, the offensive line, the defensive line, and the secondary. I thought they did a really good job, and I think a lot of us would agree with that. But I still think there's a few positions that if they just adjust a little bit, I think this team will be rocking and rolling. So, with that being said, we're going to get right into it. I want to start off with the wide receiver position. Yes, we added Alec Pierce, and I think Alec Pierce is going to be a really good addition for this team. I think he's going to do some good things for us. But I do think if we add one more receiver, maybe even two, but I do think we should add one more receiver. If we add one more, I think this receiver group will take the next step forward to where we want it to go. So, some of the guys that are still available in free agency at the receiver position are Julio Jones, which I know a lot of Colts fans really want to see on the team because of the Matt Ryan connection. I guess they still talk, quite a bit. So, there's people that want to see Julio Jones on the Colts. Jarvis Landry is another guy where if he's willing to take less money than what he wants, then maybe the Colts would be willing to go after him. And I know some fans would like to see Jarvis Landry in Indianapolis. Will Fuller's available, and to me, I think if Will Fuller can stay healthy, he's a very dangerous receiver. Problem is, he gets hurt quite a bit, so we just don't know for sure. Colt Beasley's another guy that's available out there that maybe you could see come in. He's a little older, but maybe he can come to Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton is still available, obviously, which I know a lot of Colts fans would like to see T.Y. back as well. Emmanuel Sanders is available. Odell, if you want to wait, till October, November for him to return, I guess he's an option. So there are definitely names, and there's more that I didn't list. Now, out of the names that are still on this list, the one I would like to see on this team the most is T.Y. Hilton. For sure. I would love to see T.Y. back. I still think T.Y. has some left in the tank. I don't think T.Y. is done. I think if Ty can stay healthy for most of the season, not even all of the season, but most of it, I think he can contribute and do good things for this team. And I think, especially to Matt Ryan, he can be very valuable to this team. So Ty is somebody I would really love to see. So if we don't bring back Ty Hilton, another receiver I would definitely be more than fine with bringing to Indianapolis is Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry is going to have to take less than $20 million if he's going to come to Indianapolis. There's no way he's getting $20 million. For one, we have like $12 million to spend. So we definitely don't have $20 million to give to Jarvis Landry. Um, but if he's willing to take like 8 million or maybe a little less, then yeah, I would totally be fine with bringing in Jarvis Landry. I think Jarvis Landry is still a very talented wide receiver, so I would be more than okay bringing in Jarvis Landry. It's just the money. Is he willing to take less money than what he wanted initially? If he is, I wouldn't be opposed to it. And then, honestly, for like cheap, I wouldn't mind bringing in Will Fuller. I think if Will Fuller stays healthy, he can be a weapon. He can be a very dangerous weapon for us. So it just comes down to health. And honestly, I think he'd be willing to come to Indianapolis on like a 1 year deal for like $4 to $6 million. Like as like a prove it type of deal. I think he would be. He's 28 years old, so he's not too old. So I mean, I wouldn't hate bringing in Will Fuller. I definitely think it would make our receiver group better. So there's that, and then I guess Julio. I'd be fine with Julio coming to Indianapolis. Um, I'm not as big on the whole Matt Ryan connection with Julio as a lot of people are. Julio does deal with a lot of injuries too, but I mean, if we decided we're going to bring in Julio Jones, I wouldn't hate it. So those are some of the receivers I would definitely consider bringing in for sure. Odell, I wouldn't hate that, I guess, as well. I guess I'll throw in Odell. Um, if we offered him a contract in like October, cool. I'll bring him in. I don't think he's coming, but sure, why not? So the receiver position is definitely one position I would like to see the Colts address just a little bit. So another position group I would like to see the Colts address in free agency before heading into training camp would be the defensive line, more specifically the edge group. I think adding more quality edge rushers to your team is a good idea because the more quality edge rushers you have, the better your defense is going to be all around. So I would like to see them address it just a little bit. Some names that are out there that maybe could come to Indianapolis: Jason Pierre-Paul, Akeem Hicks, Jadeveon Clowney's available, Melvin Ingram's available, KJ Wright's available, Justin Houston. Bring Justin Houston back. So there's some names out there. Just kind of looking at the edge group, the one I would like to see in Indianapolis the most would be Melvin Ingram. I think Melvin Ingram would be a really nice addition to this team. We saw what he did in Kansas City when he got in there and he started playing for the Chiefs. I mean, it made their defense much better because you remember, Kansas City was struggling defensively. Like they were really struggling. Then, they bring in Melvin Ingram via trade and their defense gets much better. So while, yes, he's older, he's 33, I would definitely be more than okay bringing in Melvin Ingram. Another player I would bring in that I actually didn't mention would be Anthony Barr. Anthony Barr, I would consider bringing him in. I think he's a pretty solid player. I would prefer to have Melvin Ingram, but I think Anthony Barr would be a solid option. KJ Wright, you would have that connection with Gus Bradley when he was in Vegas. So there's him you can bring in. And honestly, I would not hate it if Justin Houston came in. He wouldn't start. He'd be coming off the bench. I'd be cool with it. So those are some guys I would consider bringing in as far as the edge group goes. And the last position group I would address before heading into training camp would be the cornerback group. Some corners that are available are Joe Hayden, Kyle Fuller, Kevin King, Xavier Rhodes, AJ Bouye, TJ Carey's also available. Desmond Trufant's available. And then there are people saying that if a trade doesn't happen, James Bradberry could be available. If James Bradberry gets released, I would 1000% bring him in. Look, we don't need a starter, right? Like, we're good with that. We got Stephon Gilmore, we got Kenny Moore, we got Isaiah Rodgers. We don't need a starter. But James Bradberry would make this group even better. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with the cornerback group. So adding in James Bradberry would make this cornerback group even better. So I think adding him would be a good idea. Plus, we're playing in a conference that has a lot of very talented receivers. The more talented corners you can have, the better. So I would definitely bring him in if he's available. But another corner I would bring in is Kyle Fuller. Kyle Fuller didn't have that great of a year last year, but he did good things in Chicago. I wouldn't hate it. I'd be for it. I'd be perfectly happy with Kyle Fuller. I think as a depth piece, it'd be a nice addition to this team. So I would bring him in. Kevin King, he's 26 years old. He can develop into a pretty nice corner, I think, with Gus Bradley. So that's somebody I would consider bringing in. I like TJ Carey personally. I've always liked TJ Carey, so I would be cool with bringing him in. AJ Bouye, I wouldn't hate that either. Obviously, there's the connection with Desmond Trufant, so I mean, I guess you could bring him in. I wouldn't hate Xavier Rhodes. I honestly wouldn't hate bringing him in either. He should be more affordable, so if he's still available in a week or two, why not? Bring in Xavier Rhodes. I mean, what's gonna hurt, right? So I would definitely consider bringing him in. So yeah, and then Joe Hayden, maybe for a cheap deal, but if he wants a good sized contract, I'll go for somebody else. But there you guys have it. Those are the positions I would address. Again, it's the wide receiver position just a little bit, the edge rushing group I would address a little bit, and then the corners I would address just a little bit as well. I'm happy with this team though. In all honesty, if we don't make any more moves, I'm perfectly happy. I'm fine with this team, and I think we can do some good things this year. So yeah, there you guys have it. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you're new or if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate if you would click that subscribe button. Also click the bell icon so you're notified when I upload a video or when I go live. If you like this video, smack the like button. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree or do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments. And if you have a Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter at horseshoe_pod. There's a link in the description down below. So thank you very much for watching. I've been Matt, Bleed Blue, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you watch one of these other two videos. They're cool. Also, if you're new, please click the subscribe button as well as the bell icon. I greatly appreciate your support.